because violent crime in California is currently 35% higher than the national average.
Do you believe that government officials like Gregor Bovino are obligated to follow applicable court orders, whether they agree with them or not? Yes.
First, Senator Padilla, you have gone on for over 5 minutes, and I wish that you loved your state of California as much as you hate President Trump. We'd be in really good shape then.
Pam Bondi just obliterated Senator Padilla in what might be the most explosive Senate hearing we've seen all year. While the left tried to spin another political ambush, Bondi fired back, calm, confident, and completely in control. She exposed the hypocrisy, the corruption, and the double standards that Washington doesn't want you to see. If you're tired of watching weak politicians push false narratives while real patriots get silenced, hit that like button right now, subscribe to Freedom Pulse Media, and turn on notifications, because we're cutting through the noise and bringing you the truth the mainstream media refuses to show.
Senator Padilla.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the opportunity to participate in this hearing today, which is our, at minimum, annual opportunity to ask questions as we fulfill our obligation to provide accountability over the Department of Justice. So just sort of to level set a little bit for folks in the audience and for folks watching at home, the Department of Justice is supposed to be the nation's guardian of fairness and the rule of law. The power of the Department of Justice is built on public trust and a belief that prosecutions are based on facts and law, not on politics or personal loyalty. And I call that out, Mr. Chairman, because when that breaks down, when the public trust breaks down, then justice itself is at risk. So my first question, Attorney General Bondi, is a simple yes-no question. Do you believe that government officials like Gregor Bovino are obligated to follow applicable court orders, whether they agree with them or not? Yes or no?
First, Senator Padilla, you have gone on for over 5 minutes, and I wish that you loved your state of California as much as you hate President Trump. We'd be in really good shape then, because violent crime in California is currently 35% higher than the national average. Property crime in California is 18% higher than the national average. That should be something that we should be talking about and working together on, yet we're not. And no, this is important. You're talking about all of my agencies, and I want to let you know what DEA has been doing, and they are working hand in hand with
I appreciate that. And I'm
no, you can't go on for 5 minutes and criticize my agents who are out working without pay right now because you voted to shut down the government. They're out there working without pay.
Mr. Chairman, I asked a simple yes or no question. Attorney General Bondi
DEA, 4,500 kilos of fentanyl and 50 million fentanyl pills off the streets.
While under your watch,
FBI, 23,000 violent criminals. U.S. Marshals, 51,000 fugitives.
I'm not getting an answer to my question. I'm trying to move on to the next question or the next topic. Mr. Chairman, order, please. Thank you. Because under Attorney General Bondi's watch, career prosecutors are being fired for telling agencies to follow the law and uphold the Constitution. Meanwhile, there are instances of allies of the president who seem to be getting let off the hook. I won't reiterate what some of my colleagues have already brought up in terms of the dismissal of the investigation into Tom Homan and his alleged acceptance of $50,000 as payment by undercover FBI agents posing as business executives looking to secure contracts with a future Trump administration. Because if the reports are true, it's not just the underlying conduct of Mr. Homan, which would be absolutely unacceptable, but the dismissal of the investigation charges raises concerns about the influence of the White House on the Department of Justice. Again, a simple question, and I'd appreciate a simple and brief answer. Whose decision was it to end this investigation?
I have answered that question multiple times, yet you didn't have the courtesy to be sitting in here for the hearing. I'm not going to answer it again. And I find it interesting that you want order in this proceeding now. Excuse me, Senator.
Then
you
I will
want
ask a
order in
follow-up
this
question.
proceeding
Mr.
now.
Chairman, order,
you sure
please.
didn't
I
have
will ask a
order when
follow-up
you
question.
stormed Secretary Noem
Mr. Chairman,
at a press
Mr.
conference
Chairman,
in California,
order, please.
did you?
I will ask a follow-up question. Would you commit to either releasing the tape or at least making it available for members of this committee to review, yes or no?
Senator, you have not been sitting in here this entire hearing. I've answered the question, and I also want to tell you that our ATF agents have seized 25,000 illegal firearms.
So we will try again and move on to a different
in your
topic.
home state, we are prosecuting
Chairman,
illegal
order,
aliens
please.
who have raped
Mr.
and
Chairman,
murdered young
order,
girls.
please. Thank you. So when I haven't been in this hearing, I've been watching from my office, monitoring the entire hearing, just so everybody is aware. But since I'm not getting answers to my questions, I'll try to ask one last subject area.
Let's break this down. Senator Padilla opens the hearing with a long speech about protecting the rule of law and keeping the DOJ independent. Sounds noble, right? But here's the catch. His entire argument was a veiled attack on President Trump's administration. He accused Pam Bondi of turning the Department of Justice into a political weapon, conveniently ignoring the blatant corruption and bias we've seen from the DOJ under Democrat leadership. He claimed that career prosecutors were being pressured and programs were being dismantled, but not once did he acknowledge how the Biden DOJ has gone after conservatives, censored Americans, and weaponized law enforcement against political opponents. Pam Bondi didn't let it slide. She came ready, armed with real numbers. She reminded Padilla that while he's sitting there grandstanding, violent crime in his home state of California is 35% higher than the national average. Property crime is 18% higher. That's what happens when Democrats prioritize illegal immigration, defunding police, and woke policies over actual law enforcement. Then Padilla tried to push the story about a prosecutor named Michelle Beckwith, claiming she was fired for telling Border Patrol to follow court orders. Bondi refused to play along with his narrative. Instead, she pointed out that while Padilla and his colleagues were shutting down the government, her agents were still out there working without pay, seizing 4,500 kilos of fentanyl and taking 23,000 violent criminals off the streets. That's what leadership looks like. That's results. Padilla kept interrupting, trying to get yes or no answers while ignoring the facts. But Bondi turned it around. She called out his hypocrisy, his lack of respect for law enforcement, and his failure to care about his own state's crime epidemic. Then came the fireworks. Padilla accused Bondi and the DOJ of protecting Trump allies, like Tom Homan, from investigation. But when Bondi refused to repeat herself for the 10th time, he got flustered. And that's when she absolutely shut him down. She said, "You want order in this hearing now, yet you stormed a Homeland Security press conference with Secretary Kristi Noem. You didn't care about order that day, did you, Senator? That's called holding the left accountable with their own behavior." And she wasn't done. When Padilla tried to attack FBI Director Patel, claiming he was politicized, Bondi defended him with hard evidence: 23,000 violent criminals arrested, over 1,500 child predators taken off the streets, and 1,600 gangs dismantled. That's the kind of law enforcement success you never hear the mainstream media report on. What we witnessed wasn't just a hearing. It was another example of Democrats trying to score political points and conservatives standing firm on law, order, and truth. Pam Bondi didn't just defend her record. She exposed the left's hypocrisy live, on the record, and on camera. And here's the bigger takeaway. The left doesn't want accountability. They want control. They talk about fairness and justice, but when it's their side under scrutiny, suddenly it's all politics. The American people are waking up to it, and Freedom Pulse Media will keep calling it out. So if you stand for law enforcement, transparency, and real justice, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with every patriot you know. Because this fight isn't about politics, it's about saving the soul of this nation. This is Freedom Pulse Media, where truth beats propaganda every single day. Stay strong, stay free, and God bless America.